Hello, Jackie McLaughlin. Life can leave us feeling weighed down, worn out, with a bone-shattering fatigue. And often we keep going, keeping our commitments, even when it's too much. But what is fatigue? This is kind of a nebulous term where you might not be really clear. You might be saying, I'm really tired, and I've been tired for a while. Fatigue is that unrelenting exhaustion that lasts more than just a day, and even if you get a good night's sleep, it doesn't go away. And it's something that builds up over time, and it reduces your energy, your motivation, and your concentration. And then it goes on to affect your emotional and psychological well-being as well. So today I'm going to share with you a little bit about the three things: the effects of fatigue, what the implications are, how you can handle it in your daily life, and I'll also be sharing with you a bit of Jin Shin Jyutsu bliss, where we practice some simple holds, acupressure holds, that you can do to relieve your fatigue. And these are all drawn from these books, Jin Shin Jyutsu Inc. And it's wonderful because these are things that you can access yourself and learn yourself to help yourself feel better. And then, of course, you can go on and learn more and become a practitioner and an instructor, even if you're really interested. So the effects of fatigue, they are all over the place. Whether it's muscle pain, it's basically head to toe, from our brain fog down to our very toes, and just changes in our body weight, how we're feeling. And I don't know, maybe you have other symptoms that come up for you. And there's a lot of talk these days about burnout and adrenal fatigue. So that's another thing that brings this into the mix. And to be honest, when somebody comes to me with complaints of fatigue, it's not a simple one touch will fix everything. It's normally very complicated, because the same thing that can help one person might not help another. So we do a lot of fine-tuning and supporting you. So fatigue, beyond tiredness. And I really like this quote that I pulled from the National Safety Council. It's more than just being tired. It's more than just needing a bit more rest. And it's important because it has knock-on effects. So much so that the Road Safety Authority did a study, and they hold that when you're fighting sleep at the wheel, it's as dangerous if you'd been in the pub and had a few pints. And there's so many cases where someone has fallen asleep at the wheel and perished because of it. But what can we do about this? How can we reduce it? Well, we can exercise. We can recharge ourselves through nature, reduce our stress, get rest, stay hydrated or drink water. And what else do you do? What else do you know that helps you? What would you recommend to your best friend to help them feel less fatigued? In addition to all these things, we can look at our energies that are circulating in our bodies. This energy is our life source energy, our life force, and it goes through our body all the time. And they travel in specific pathways known as meridians, like they use in acupuncture and reflexology. Similarly, we use these in Jin Shin Jyutsu, but we don't use needles, we don't press on parts of your body. We simply gently lay our hands and help our bodies to remember how things used to be before we were exhausted. The places that we rest our hands on the body are from head to toe, and they're called safety energy locks. And there's 26 pairs on our bodies. And each of these places correlates to a specific function in our bodies and has meanings to it. Now, these are something I used recently when a client rang. She was in pain and she was exhausted. And this has been going on for a few months, and she was just done in by it. She really wanted a bit of relief. She described the fatigue as a feeling of extreme heaviness throughout her body. She was weighed down. So she came to see me. And as she entered the room, well, I invite you to see what she saw. Just imagine coming into a nice, calm, quiet room. You see the padded table there. You settle in and slip off your shoes. After we chat a bit, you lie down on the table and I cover you with a nice warm blanket. And then all you have to do is relax. There isn't anything you need to do. Know where that you have to go. And this is exactly what my client did. As she began relaxing on the table, she was letting go of the tension, easing the fatigue, because as we relax, we can let things go. Now, my part in it was to hold space for her and to support her as her body healed itself, and to use my knowledge and my experience to help that happen. As I gently placed my right hand on her hip and my left hand on her knee, I could feel the jangling energy, the chaos, and her fatigue. So I held my hands there until the energies became a little more regular. And then I went through the sequences that were best suited to her concerns on the day. Now, as I continued with the session, her breathing changed. It was slower and deeper, more regular. And this is such a special time and experience because you relax and I focus on your energies. And actually, I remember I used to be very self-conscious when I would get sessions because I didn't want the person staring at me. And really, many times when I'm working with a client, I actually have my eyes closed like the client does. And I'm focusing on the harmony and that inner perfect rhythm. Over the session, that deeper tension and chaos and jangly energy was replaced by harmony and peace. It was always there, it just needed to be uncovered. And then after her session, she told me she was no longer feeling weighed down or heavy, as she had put it. And actually, she said she felt light as a feather. So that was great to hear. Let's practice a little bit of Jin Shin Jyutsu. Simple to do. You just need your own two hands. Holding our middle finger, right or left, gently, and you can hold it with your thumb on the palm side or on the back side or on the sides of the fingers, whatever feels best to you. This helps reduce fatigue. There are energy pathways that travel through the body and actually travel through the finger, and there's relationships. So you can hold this for just a while. And I was doing this this morning, and I did it for, actually, when I looked up at the clock, it was about a half an hour. But you don't have to do it that long. Whatever suits you. So as we hold our middle finger, just notice how you're feeling. Some people may connect with a sense of fatigue. Others may just feel a gentle pulsation. and just feel the ability to relax. And let's hold our other middle finger just for a few moments. Just breathe and relax. Let your shoulders unwind to drop down. And we'll extend this hold by going beyond just the finger and holding the center of our palm. I don't know if you can see that, but I still have my middle finger in my hand and I have my thumb on my center palm. As we have the tension and the fatigue unwind by holding the center of your palm, this helps to connect to the energy source, that universal life force that's always available to us. It also helps us to reduce our stress to come back to center. And the other hand. And we could continue with this for quite a while. I suggest that you explore it further and let me know how you get on. I'm going to share a third tip with you. This is an extended sequence and we'll make a start. There's information on the full sequence on the Energy Flows website. It's energyflows.ie. And we'll make a start for the ones that are most applicable for fatigue. By putting your right hand on the top of your head and your left hand on your forehead, just relax. And as we go down the flow or the sequence, it helps to harmonize all our energies. I'm going to focus today on a specific step that helps our fatigue, because it helps all the energy going down in our body and going up in our body. We have our hand on our head, and then the other hand goes down right at the bottom of your rib cage, right near your solar plexus. And you can just hold this and breathe. If you find that this hand is sore or tired, you can drop it down further. I remember sitting in a meeting and somebody holding this position and just breathing and settling themselves. So this is something that is available to us from Jin Shin Jyutsu, and it's also from other wisdoms. It would relate to the chakras and the other energy systems. It's wonderful how we have so many ways to improve our well-being. I'm drawn to include one more thing. I didn't plan to do this. This is a mudra, and it's a specific hand position that helps us. And one of the things that this hand position does is it helps when we're feeling exhausted. So it's a little bit complicated, but I will show you. If you take your thumb and put your other thumb underneath it so it's linked, and then take your middle finger and just make a sandwich. So another way to go into that hold is to make a ring with your middle finger and your thumb, and you have the nail bed of your middle finger touching the palm side of your thumb. And then you just take your other thumb and slip it into the middle of that sandwich. And as I said, this has a lot more benefits than just releasing fatigue and exhaustion. And I'm just drawn to share it with you because I find that the mudras are one of the wonderful parts of Jin Shin Jyutsu, where I can be holding these positions and harmonizing my energies and feeling better. Even if I'm not really paying attention, I can just close my eyes and relax. And I'm going to let you do that for a minute while I just play some of the wind chimes, Koshi wind chimes. Just for a minute. So I hope you found that helpful, and maybe consider a bit of how you're feeling. Do you notice a difference? Because after a bit of Jin Shin Jyutsu, we can often feel a change. Whether we're holding our own hands and the positions on our body, or we're receiving a session. Jin Shin Jyutsu helps us to relax, feel better, and to be ready for our day. So I'm going to close out this session with a reminder that even if you're exhausted, even if you're fatigued or tense or have other health conditions and health concerns, there is hope, there is help. Thank you for sharing a bit of Jin Shin Jyutsu bliss with me. And just remember, you can manage your energy and connect to the supports in the universe and the wider community anytime. If you've enjoyed this and you'd like to experience a bit more Jin Shin Jyutsu bliss, my contact details are on the screen. And one of the amazing parts about Jin Shin Jyutsu is you can experience it in person, face to face. And you can also receive the benefits of Jin Shin Jyutsu through distance sessions. I did a remote healing session for someone in America not too long ago. And it was amazing because she could feel better even from the comfort of her own home. And I was very intrigued because I didn't tell her which parts of her body I was holding. And she said, "Did you start out by holding here?" And I said, "Yeah, I did." And she said, "I could feel that." So we do have a connection between us, and the energy can help to move through us, even when we're not in the same room. Hope this helps. Have a great day. And if the sun is shining where you are, enjoy the sunshine and become recharged. Thanks so much.